Alright everyone, hello and welcome to the 2000 subscriber video. So basically, gonna be answering some questions that you guys left for me in the comments in the comment section of some previous videos, and yeah, we'll just go from there I guess. But just before I do that, I just want to say, honestly, massive, huge, humongous, I can't even think of more words. Thank you to every single subscriber on the channel. It means a lot. I know some people are here on the back of Football Manager. I know some people are here on the back of the more tactical videos. And the balance of my channel will be something I'll probably end up, whether I like it or not, discussing with some of the questions that I've been given. I didn't really know what to put in the background, so you've kind of got mini me and big me on the side up there, if I can point at myself. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I don't want this kind of video to become too long, because to be fair, some of these questions are pretty deep. But I'm going to do my best to pronounce your names, and I'm going to do my best to try and pronounce your questions as quickly as possible. So Kristin Sill asks, what is your goal with this channel? Where do you want to go with it? So basically, I think Football Manager is a very small niche, especially in comparison to, you know, things like FIFA and Pro Evolution and whatnot. And I think when I first started my channel, I wanted to roll back the years. Like back in FM 10, 11 and whatnot, I used to blog a lot about Football Manager, back when Football Manager blogs weren't even that popular. And I used to basically get requests. Hey, dude, can you please recreate Jose Mourinho's, I don't know, Inter Milan 4-3-1-2, 4-3-3 away from home in the match engine? And then, yeah, I would then be forced to go and watch highlights on YouTube and whatnot, understand how they played, and then also have the challenge of trying to recreate in the match engine. Not only was I kind of learning more about the tactical side of the game, which really intrigued me, but it also helped me become a better Football Manager player in the process. So before university, when I had a lot of time to do blogging and whatnot, it's what I used to spend a lot of my spare time doing. And obviously 4 or 5 years passed, I went to university and whatnot, and even now, to be fair, I got a job, I've got a lot of side projects and whatnot. I don't really have that much time. I don't actually play that much Football Manager. Most of the hours on my Steam account are my little brother playing Football Manager. I kind of just hop on, click the record button, get on with my life, and then, you know, call it a day there. But yeah, so that was my initial goal with the channel. I wanted to kind of like take the blogging aspect that I used to do, the tactical recreation side of things, but because now it seems like every Tom, Dick and Harry has a Football Manager blog, like, I don't mean to sound condescending, but just go on Twitter and see like the amount of Football Manager blogs that seem to exist and all seem to be the exact same thing. I then decided, right, okay, I find it really boring to read through lines of text, and I prefer watching videos. It's more interactive. You see the bloke talking himself, and you can just interact and enjoy it better. And rather than just see screenshots of like, oh look, this is an in-game screenshot, look at how my player is positioned. Instead, with video, you can actually watch the highlights from my tactics test save, for example. Or if you're you know, documenting a Football Manager save, rather than create weird low quality GIFs of your goals or weird screenshots of your goals or try and explain it in words, you can just show, you know, your reader, your viewer via video the goal itself. Now, I understand a lot of people don't have the confidence to speak on camera and whatnot, so, you know, fair play, but my point still stands, where I thought to myself, I don't want to go back to, or bringing my old blog back to life. I want to bring that onto YouTube. And I feel like the Football Manager community on YouTube has actually been growing pretty well over the past few years. Now, I think one of the main issues with the Football Manager community on YouTube is that a lot of people end up starting Football Manager YouTube channels. And I know that this is something that's been discussed before, but there's nothing unique about their content. So like, it takes a lot of time to play through your own Football Manager save, let alone sit and watch some guy on the internet make the same mistakes you will make and not learn from them, and just in general just play through his game when you could be playing yourself and enjoying the game a lot more. So if you look at the top Football Manager YouTubers like Dr. Benji, Loki Doki, for example, you've got to then analyze what do they bring that's unique to the table, and it's the entertainment factor. So when I was at university and I couldn't play Football Manager because obviously I was focused on my studies and stuff like that, especially during exam period when I was proper down in the dumps, I'd watch Dr. Benji's Football Manager videos. I'd get that same buzz as if I was playing the game, but at the same time, because I couldn't play the game, but at the same time, he'd make me laugh. And, you know, it would, if my mood was really, really bad, I'd suddenly be in a good mood. The point that where I'm trying to go with this is that those guys offer a unique content on YouTube for Football Manager, which is why they're so successful. So the way I kind of looked at it was, I'm bringing back my blog. I'm bringing back the tactical recreations. I think there's an audience for it because there was an audience for it when the community was smaller years ago. But you know what? I'm actually going to bring it onto YouTube, which has its perks that I've already discussed. And that's what I consider my niche. You know, I'm not a funny guy like some of the other Football Manager YouTubers out there are, but that was my main goal with the channel, to be able to kind of do Football Manager playthroughs, do tactical videos linked in with Football Manager to try and bring both niche audiences together. Because one of the main reasons why my tactical analysis videos are much more successful than my Football Manager videos is because tactical analysis videos in general, you're talking about an audience of millions of people who just like football, whilst Football Manager is an incredibly small niche. And then within that niche, whilst entertainment kind of covers anyone who's a human being, because we all like to laugh, the tactical side of Football Manager is an even smaller niche in an already small niche. I hope this is making sense. And I just wanted to try and kind of, like, you know, a Venn diagram, find the audience in the middle. That was what my goal was with the channel, just to try and produce content that would appeal to that small number of people, to satisfy what I kind of used to when I had a blog back in the day. And given the fact that I've probably been posting videos on this channel for like a year and 3 months now, I think it is, I think it's safe to say that I am slowly starting to find that audience, or rather that audience are slowly starting to find me, and that there is an audience for it. And at the moment I don't really feel like there is anyone else out there that covers that kind of Football Manager tactical side. With my Football Manager videos, based on private messages I get and comments, it's pretty clear that the people that watch them say things or have messaged me things like, I think it's really interesting how you play the game. I think it's great how you look at the opposition and their weaknesses beforehand and tweak your team based on their weaknesses. The way that you try to manage properly. You don't just plug and play a tactic. Oh, I tried doing something you did. I tried taking it slower. And I've had these comments and messages before and tried to actually watch the game rather than have it on key highlights and try and tweak as I go along. And I actually got a last minute goal because of it. You know, that's how I play the game. And in the process, I think people that watch that hope to learn from it, even though I've still got a lot to learn. And I think that that particular style of play, I'm yet really, bar bust the net, see anyone really portray that well on YouTube. So that was like my niche, my goal. You probably get it by now in terms of my channel. Where do I want to go with it? It's tough because, like I said, I'm even finding it hard to get 3 videos out a week just because I've got so much like on my plate at once. I've been contemplating just taking a break for a month, to be honest. But at the same time, I don't want to let you guys down. And obviously the full-on tactical recreations take a lot of time as well, like a ridiculous amount of time. So where do I want to go with it? To be honest, I know I've kind of mentioned potentially not doing a Football Manager 2019 save next year, and that could become reality where I won't do a save, but the time I'd free up from not doing a save and having to play and whatnot would give me more time to test tactics and try different things out and build more tactics and dedicate towards the presentations or the tactical analysis videos that come with the tactics. So I think that's probably where I want to take my channel. And I know a lot of people will probably be disappointed that I won't be doing a Football Manager 19 save as things currently stand. But the way I currently see it is I don't think I'm going to finish the International Pentagon Challenge before FM19 comes out. So that'll probably be something that I'll look to continue with an episode like once a week or something like that. And it means that I'll be able to get more tactical analysis videos out there. And not just tactical recreations, but actual tactical analysis videos of actual real life games, similar to the El Clasico one that I did, that actually got shared on a massive Barcelona blog, which got so many views and likes. And all you have to do is go to my channel and compare the views on the tactical videos and the likes with my normal Football Manager videos. And, you know, this isn't me really kind of saying, oh, I'm chasing the likes, I'm chasing the comments. But the fact of the matter is a lot of my subscribers are subscribed for that content, or the majority of my subscribers are probably subscribed for that content. They are based on YouTube analytics, right? And I think if I am to grow my channel, I'm going to have to figure out some way that I can dedicate more time towards that stuff, just simply because it's only fair to the majority of people that I do dedicate more time to that stuff. Ideally, I would love to be able to get like real football footage and analyze that. It would make my life so much easier, like a lot of current channels do on YouTube, pretty poorly. Like there are some decent ones, but there are some others that get ridiculous number of views and likes and whatnot, and they're talking absolute nonsense. Copyright is an issue, so I probably would never really go down that route. But I really do feel like in the long run, I would love to be able to provide a lot more content on the tactical side of things. And like I said, that doesn't mean that Football Manager would get binned. It just means that the kind of amount of Football Manager videos, as in playthrough videos, would probably reduce in number, and you'd get more Football Manager tactical related videos. And I'd probably end up separating the tactical analysis videos from the Football Manager tactical recreations and whatnot. And just to clarify, like, again, I don't monetize my YouTube channel. I do this because it's something that's fun. It started off by wanting to enjoy myself, use it as an excuse to learn, like I used to when I used to blog, but in video format. And fortunately, we've hit 2K subscribers, which is just amazing. And you never know, maybe one day it could, you know, grow even bigger, but we'll deal with that when we get there. So hopefully that answered your question. I know I went on a few tangents, but I think it's important to kind of, yeah, you asked a very big question, Kristen, so hopefully that makes sense. And obviously, whether it's you or someone else, if you agree, disagree with what I'm saying, you know, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so Tiago Correa asks, what team do you support and what style of football do you like the most? Keep doing the great work. Thank you, Tiago. I support Blackburn Rovers. You probably remember him from a few years ago in the Premier League. We won the Premier League in the 94-95 season. I don't know why I second thought that. What style of football do I like the most? I like counter-attacking football, so I like basically, you know, putting men behind the ball and breaking with a lot of pace, a lot of speed, getting the ball out wide, staying defensively sound. So kind of like very Jose Mourinho-esque. I think in modern football, the teams that I've enjoyed watching the most, Mourinho's Real Madrid, like some of their blistering counter-attacks under Mourinho were amazing. I guess having Ronaldo in his prime helped, but, you know, that concept of the two do-it-all midfielders in Xabi Alonso, Sami Khedira, and then, you know, the pace of Di Maria on one side and the cutting inside of Ronaldo on the other. Just really loved watching Mourinho's Real Madrid side. I loved watching his Chelsea side beforehand as well, with Drogba up front, Joe Cole and Robben cutting inside. And I think like modern day, I enjoy watching Spurs simply because they've got so many great technical players. I also enjoy watching Man City. Like, it can get boring at times when they've got the lead, but when they are pushing for a goal, like some of the football they were playing. I think it was a few weeks ago against West Ham when David Silva got like that last minute goal and stuff. Watching De Bruyne just kind of ping passes around and is just really great to play. So when Pep Guardiola's Man City are playing that more fast-paced, attacking, ruthless style, they are really great to watch. Because again, it's that fast-paced, counter-attacking aspect that I enjoy. And obviously, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool this season have been beautiful to watch, especially with Mohamed Salah now in the team. It's just their transition from back to front is great. I do think their pressing sometimes leaves them a bit exposed at the back, whereas I'd be a little bit more, I wouldn't be all for exposing yourself so much unless you're really, really chasing a goal. But generally speaking, I like kind of defensively sound, but also counter-attacking football, because I feel like that way you can be defensively sound, but also dangerous, going forwards as well, which for me is the right balance. Okay, next up, the Sideways Freak asks, why do you think English managers, and in general English football, has neglected tactics even now? And the only teams that are really using tactics in the Premier League are the ones being coached by foreign managers. Well, I wouldn't say that English managers have neglected tactics. It depends how you define tactics. With more money being pumped into the game, with players being brought into the game at a youth level being trained up, especially now, like if you compare players today and what they can do physically and technically to 20, 30 years ago, bar like maybe someone like Maradona or Pele, football has changed a lot. And as a result of that, the tactical side of things also has changed. And I wouldn't say English managers have neglected tactics. I'd say that when players change and tactical approaches change, and as a result new tactical approaches are developed and managers come in with different ideas and whatnot, I think the reason why you probably say the English neglect tactics is because it's always, 4-4 effing 2 hoofball up to the big man up front. It's kind of a bit of an English stereotype. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily neglecting tactics. I'd say, have you ever put an English manager managing a team like Real Madrid or Barcelona and seen what they come up with? If you get where I'm coming from. So you put Sam Allardyce, for example, in charge of a team that's struggling like Everton. Obviously, they're going to be playing hoofball, aiming to not concede goals and play boring football. And people will point the finger and say, oh, he's not using tactics, he's just hoofing the ball forwards. He's neglecting tactics even, or he's just a typical English manager. And like I said, it depends how you define tactics. Like if you want to put 11 players behind the ball and hoof it to Andy Carroll up front, that's a tactic, So I wouldn't say English managers have neglected tactics. I think it's easier when foreign managers get the Chelsea job, the Man City job, the Man United job, with their calibre of players, to play with what you probably consider a tactic. You know what I mean? Than it is for English managers like Eddie Howe or Sean Dyche. I mean, I'm a Blackburn fan. I hate Burnley. But he's done a phenomenal job, Sean Dyche, at Burnley, right? Look at his team. I mean, with all due respect, in fact, I'm not going to say with all due respect, I don't really care, to be honest, about Burnley. But with all due respect to Sean Dyche, at least, because I respect him as a manager, what else is he meant to do with that team? They've not actually spent that much money in comparison to your Man Cities and whatnot. Pep Guardiola the other day was saying he's got budgets to stay within, that financially he's having a tough time. Then they went and spent God knows how much on Laporte. What do you want Sean Dyche to do? Up against some of the players he's playing against. You see where I'm coming from? So I don't know how you're defining the term tactics. But yeah, that's hope. I don't think I've answered your question. But at the same time, I think I have. But yeah, cheers for the question, though. Okay, Junkyard Dog asks, hi, first of all, great job, very interesting videos, keep it up, thank you. Now here's my question for the Q&A. What is your opinion on the Football Manager series and how it's evolving? Kind of touched on that in an early question, but yeah. Any good or bad tendencies you'd like to point out? Ooh, that's an interesting bit. So like I said, I feel like the Football Manager series is evolving pretty well. I feel like more time is probably being put into the evolving of areas that, to me personally, aren't a priority. So when I say not relevant to me, I mean, if it was up to me, I'd bring the old arrows back, and I would rehaul the tactical engine, I don't know why they went to the instructions from the sliders. I think I remember Miles saying they spoke to managers in real life, and that's apparently like that them kind of like strict instructions. That's closer to what real life managers do to their players, because obviously a real life manager ain't going to go to a player and be like, I want you to be 7 out of 10 closer to attacking or something like that. You know what I mean? I was just saying, I want you to have an attacking mentality. So I think the tactical, I think if it was up to me, I would rehaul the tactical engine in a sense that I'd like an off the ball shape and an on the ball shape. Like, it seems like a relatively straightforward tactical concept for me. But yeah, if it was up to me, I'd dedicate more dev time towards improving the tactical engine, because that's what I'm personally interested in, right? But unfortunately, they also sell copies of the games to other people. You know, then they don't just exist to serve me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of market research will have been behind what has driven a lot of their changes. So the tactical changes, I think, were also driven heavily by the fact that they wanted FM Touch to become a thing. But that's where they foresee the future of the game. Not only PC players, but they foresee the touch mode to allow people who don't have the time to play the full version to play a streamlined version, to continue growing their audience base, because otherwise a lot of people just won't touch the game, because playing the normal version for them is just, it takes too long for them. And the same goes towards a mobile version, which will probably, you know, continue evolving as well. And as well, the graphical changes and the skin changes. Now, I don't like the new skin changes. I feel like they've done a lot of changes that don't really make sense. The graphics have improved a lot, and people like me would say, you know what, the graphics were fine 3 years ago. Why have you made the regen faces worse and whatnot? And I don't know why the regen faces are worse. I don't know what on earth they're playing at, but I'm not going to rant about the regen faces for now. I'm going to talk about the graphic engine. And my assumption is that they've done market research or something like that, you know, that's told them, if our game looks nicer, we'll sell more copies. Because who are they competing against in the market? In terms of management games, no one, as off the top of my head, right? Other than some weird, I don't know, indie ones on Steam. And FIFA Manager stopped. PES Manager stopped years ago, even though that was a sick game. You could invite like players into your office and they'd come in wearing a suit and stuff. That was really cool. But yeah, but that's it. So if you look at the football niche, they're competing against the likes of FIFA, PES and whatnot. And the sad part is, I've seen comments on YouTube and stuff where people say, why are you playing Football Manager? The graphics are crap. Because that appeals to a large number of people. They'd say, no, I'd rather go and play FIFA because it looks nicer. So how do I feel the series is evolving? I feel it's not evolving the way I want to see it evolve, where I'd like more emphasis on improving the tactical engine. I shouldn't need to tell my wingers to man mark, like opposition wingers, just to get them to track back and stuff like that. I do kind of feel like the tactical engine is something that can still be improved a lot. Set pieces as well. But I think it's great that the game is evolving in general. And I think it's great that SI is starting to work more with people within the community, and they're also dedicating time towards the draft mode. So I think it's subjective based off what different people want from the game. And like I said, it's not my cup of tea, or a lot of the new changes. A lot of them don't really feel necessary, but they probably know what they're doing. And like I said, I'm not the only guy that plays the game, so yeah. And there is obviously the worry about if you make the tactical engine too in-depth, that it will start to overwhelm people like the old slider approach used to overwhelm people. So if you want new players, if you want to grow your audience and just get more players and sell more copies of the game, it's about finding that right balance. And I feel like sometimes a lot of people don't realise that when it comes to Football Manager. At what point do you draw the line between the fact that it's a game or a simulation? Because to me, a simulation would be something like Flight Simulator, where you are literally doing the real thing. And for me, Football Manager seems to still have more game tendencies than pure simulation tendencies. Yeah. Okay, so Ollie's RTS Gaming asks, how does it feel to manage a somewhat competent team after years of overachieving with the smaller national squads? Obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, Ollie's referring to the fact that I'm now the England manager in my Pentagon challenge, as you, I guess, can see up there. Like, I don't know why I've got this guy on in the background. I just genuinely did not know what to put on behind me, so I just went with mini me and big me. Right, okay, so yeah, it feels quite nice. I'm not going to give any spoilers away. I do need to record an episode after this because I am a bit behind. But yeah, it feels good. Okay, last two questions. Zen Sharad Zain asks, is it possible to play gegenpressing in lower league management? League 2 to Vanarama Conference. Cheers, mate, for the 2K subscribers. Which will be me saying cheers, mate, to you. Thank you. I think it is possible. Obviously, if... You see, what makes it difficult is the fact that you need to bring in the right types of players, and players are subjective to the players they're playing against. So, in lower league management, if you can sign a bunch of pacey players with high work rates, you would be able to play gegenpressing to an extent, or gegenpressing to the extent of the level at which they play at in comparison to the level of opposition as well. Would I recommend it? No. Because you need incredibly high stamina on your players, unless like you only enable it for one half or for the final 20 minutes of a game or something like that. So is it possible? Anything's possible in the game, but I wouldn't recommend it because you'd also probably struggle to get them players in the first place because budgets are pretty poor in the lower leagues. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But obviously it's subjective to your save, how much money you've got, and whether or not you can sign the right players. I'd say maybe championship level, you probably can if you've got a bit of money to spend. But anything lower than that, and you probably struggle to get the right players, and you probably actually benefit a lot more from like just using a target man up front and taking advantage of the fact that defenders are pretty poor in lower leagues. Right, last but not least, OJC BRFC asks, Q&A question, what was your first Blackburn Rovers game? Right, that's an interesting one. So, basically growing up, my dad was never really into football. But I used to always watch Match of the Day and Rovers highlights on Match of the Day. I'd say my first actual game at Ewood Park was actually, this is going to make you laugh, was when the Female World Cup was hosted in the Northwest. I can't remember what year it was. And England played Sweden at Ewood Park, and I think Sweden won 1-0. I can't remember. Yeah, so that was my first game at Ewood Park. My first actual Blackburn Rovers game was Blackburn against Norwich when Sam Allardyce was manager. I think we won 3-2. Paul Lambert was manager of Norwich. I think we won 3-2 where Mame Biram Diouf, who we had on loan from Man United, scored 2. We still had El Hadji Diouf as well, Michel Salgado. It was really funny. There was a guy who was like full on pissed sat in front of me. And it was actually, I think it was Martin Olsen for some reason was playing down the right. And every time, or it could have been down the left, actually. It depends which way we were shooting. Anyways, obviously Martin Olsen's a left back, but I do think he was actually playing down the right that game. Anyways, every time Olsen would get the ball, the guy in front of me would just yell, "Go on, Salgado!" And me and my brother were just pissing our sides. It was just like, he looks nothing like Salgado. Like, compare what Martin Olsen looks like and what Salgado looks like. They look nothing like each other. But yeah, so that was my first Blackburn Rovers game. I would have loved to go to a game before that, but like I said, growing up, my dad was never really into football, so I had to kind of wait till I was old enough, and I moved back from Dubai and all that to actually start going to games. And now, obviously, I've had a season ticket for 2 years now, and I would have had a season ticket basically the years before that as well. But university was a bit of a problem, and I was in my final year of college the year we obviously went down, but we'd rather not talk about that. So that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully I answered your questions. I really appreciate the people who did leave me with questions. Obviously some of them were easier to answer than others, but yeah, once again, thank you for 2,000 subscribers. It seems like yesterday I was doing the 1,000 subscriber video. But, and also, I hope I've not, like, upset anyone by saying that I'm probably not going to do a playthrough on Football Manager 2019. but that could change, you know, between now and when Football Manager 19 comes out. We've still got like a good 9 months till FM 19, right? So that could change. But as always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. I mean, if you're not already subscribed, I'm not quite sure why you're watching this video, to be honest. But yeah, thanks for watching.